Ashley, your scrapping nerd, and I'm back today with a new series that I'm starting, and it's called Pocketful of Fun, and it's where I do my pocket pages. I have so many, and I figure that if I create a little series to get my pocket pages done, then I actually will get them done. So I pulled in my photo play collection, Walk on the Wild Side, and I don't have much of this left, which is fun to say that I actually am going to use up a collection. But I also pulled in some extra floral leafy type die cuts that I had just in that little container that I keep around. And I had square postage type die, and I'm not sure where that came from, but I've had it for a while. And then I pulled in some Ranger clear embossing powder and then some Distress Oxide in Candied Apple. And I had this idea. So I'm scrapbooking the towel animals from the cruise that we went on for my mom's birthday. And I had this idea that I would take the bubble wrap and I would dip it in the embossing ink, and then I would put the clear embossing powder onto this white square paper. And the idea was I wanted the texture to look like a towel. And I would say in person, it does a pretty good job. The light catches it and you can see the texture. I'm not sure that it really does it justice on the video here. You'll see when the heat gun heats it up, it becomes extra shiny. But the idea was that the bubble wrap would add the texture, more texture to the embossing ink, so that when I put the powder on it, it would have more of that kind of towel texture. I don't know if the bubble wrap really did that much for the texture. I feel like it probably would have been fine even if I just daubed it on there. The embossing powder, I think, has texture anyway. And so I'm not sure if that's really the case that I needed the bubble wrap. But either way, I like how that turned out. And all I did was pull in some of I have my 6x8 paper pads I never use, and so whenever I need something white, and they're not double-sided, so I just pulled in some squares, and I think they turn out to be 3x3 in the end, maybe, because the pocket page, I think you'll see it in a minute, is 4x4, and it's 9 of them. And so I think that this actually ends up being like a 3x3 for the white square. But I wanted to have a concise background. And the idea, I really liked using this photo play, the Walk on the Wild Side, just because it's all the pictures of the animals that they make out of the towels and they leave for you every day. And so I thought it'd be fun to make it kind of a jungle type theme. I did do left side as just a 12x12 scrapbook page, and that'll be on my channel soon. But we're starting with this pocket page. And so I pulled in this paper as my main background for each of the pockets, and all I did was cut each pocket down to 4x4. So I knew that that was my size for the background, and then I could start layering up on each of the pockets. And it's funny because I feel like the pocket pages always take me longer because it's like having 9 layouts instead of just the one, because I look at each pocket that way. But I used those square postage type dies that I had, and I actually cut the photos out using that. So the photos have that kind of postage edge to it where it's all scalloped. And then I put the white paper with the embossing powder right behind that. And then I thought that it needed just a little something more. So then I pulled in that green and I backed all of that. So each of the pockets have the main kind of jungle type looking paper in the back, and then the green, and then the towel embossed photo mat, and then the photo that's cut like a postage stamp. So that took a long time to do, and I cut all that out because you don't need to see me do that 9 times. But I started going through the PhotoPlay ephemera that I had, and I had a pocket page card that had this monkey on it, and I just loved him. I thought he was really cute, and it said welcome party animals, and I didn't have room to put the whole pocket page card, so I fussy cut out the monkey, and I will put him in the top right pocket, and then in the middle is I kept the welcome party animals, because again, I think that's just funny that it's all the towel animals. And so I went through that tub. Like I said, anytime I have die cuts and there's extra after a layout, they kind of just go into that little bin or tub there. And so I have a bunch of leaf ones because I always cut out way more than I need, so I don't have too much scraps. I just finish the paper or the piece with extra leaves. And so I pulled in a bunch of the leaves that I had, and they're not all the same, and they're not all the same green paper, which I think is kind of fun. And then I had these yellow florals, and it's also a die that I have, and so that was also in the bin, and I was like, well, that yellow is perfect for these pages. It pulls out the yellow from that kind of wild background there. And I just kind of sprinkled those all around with the leaves, and I really like how that looked. And there was some orange ones as well that were like the smaller star looking floral, and so I sprinkled some of the orange ones around as well, and it's all from that same die. And I think that just kind of again pulls in those background colors from that kind of wild paper that I chose. And another reason I have so many layers is because it kind of helps tone down that wild paper there. And then I pulled in the sticker paper or the sticker sheet from the PhotoPlay collection, and I put the little toucan, and there's the wild safari sticker that I'll put by the monkey. And again, just some fun little wording. There's like a little washi tape that I'll put in the middle with the elephant. And it has these like jungle masks. And so I will put that with the welcome party animals in the middle, and another of the little symbol type things on the top middle there. And just getting the same kind of feel through the whole, all 9 pockets, so that they're different and there's a little something different with each of them, but yet you can tell that it all goes to the same party. And again, this is a new series that I'm starting, and it's called the Pocketful of Fun, and it's where I'm going to force myself to get all my pocket pages done because I have so many in my albums, and I tend to focus a lot on my 12 by 12s. And so I wanted to make a series so that it's like, okay, Ashley, you got to do a pocket page and see if I can get some of these done. And I love doing them. It's just, again, it just takes me a little bit longer. But that's the layout, guys, or the pocket page. Thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons. And I hope that everyone has a great day. Bye.